G'day punters and welcome to the Wild West, brought to you by Betfair Australia. Betfair, a company which D Cripps is even happier with at the moment. Crip, I believe next week's episode will be a remote edition.
It will.
Explain to me why.
Well, it's not entirely, I'm not going to Melbourne entirely because of this, but Betfair were kind enough to put a competition on nearest to the pin with the Collingwood-Brisbane footy match a couple of weeks ago, and I tipped Brisbane by 1 and actually forgot about it until after the game. But I won the prize, and they've teed me up with 2 medallion tickets to the Anzac Day game, Collingwood Essendon. So how's that, eh? Bit of luck.
Thanks for the invite too, mate. Really appreciate it. So it's funny, I saw your entrance to that and it came up on my Twitter feed, and I rarely have a crack at those things, and I thought I've got to have a go if you are, and I chucked in draw. So
kick after the siren got me there. So.
Incredible stuff. But
Betfair, they just keep delivering, don't they?
They do. How could you bet with anybody else? Very excited about this week's card, but let's have a quick look at last week's.
And just before we touch on that, I just want to say, obviously there's been some pretty bad cyclone damage up in the Northampton Calgary region, which is where I grew up. So my thoughts go out to all those who have been affected. No doubt there'll be some Gelton trainers as well who have copped it. From a personal point of view, we lost some sheds and silos, but our house is still intact, so we've been we're a lot luckier than others. And it's going to be a bit of work to get done over the foreseeable future, but those communities are watertight, and they'll get through.
Well said, mate.
Thanks.
Very good stuff.
Anyway, last week, all right. We had a few investments. Just for a change. Race 4, we kicked it off back to the 2-year-old featherweight. Hope it got in a little bit of a drift, which it did. I think it traded about, I think it SP'd about 275 or something late. Wasn't an easy watch, but we got the job done. Chrissy Parnham in a driving finish over Ain't No Other Man. Goes to the sires this week, but I think we'll leave featherweight there. But got our money in and out. Showed I like when a horse shows a bit of fight. Looked like it probably got headed, didn't it? But kicked back.
It did. Showed a bit of ticker.
We love a bit of ticker.
Don't mind a bit of ticker. We then went to race number 6, and on the surface, to me, it looked like some sort. Didn't show much ticker, but as reviewing the data after, maybe it did.
Yeah, look, it was my best of the day. Actually got the blows. I think it traded about 390 late. I took the 330 and was pretty keen at that price. It led as expected. The first 200 metres of the race went to plan, but after that, with the blinkers going on, it just started to pull, and Jade couldn't really hold it. They ended up going 10 lengths quicker than benchmark to the 600. I went back and had a look at the historical data. I couldn't really even find a race that had gone that fast there. And to put it into context, Clairvoyance ran the fastest 1200 metre race since Haydock's Winterbottom run, and Some Sort actually got to the 600 mark faster than Clairvoyance did. So it probably went a little bit hard to was he come unstuck, and maybe blinkers off next start.
Yeah, back to the 1,000 as well would go. I think if a horse is running those type of times, it's 3 starts in a row. If you go back through Some Sort's numbers, it's gone just crazy numbers above benchmark. So get it back to the 1,000. Wait for a listed race at 9:30 at Narrogin. Maybe that'd probably suit it. But
Moonee Valley.
Yes, and then we moved on to race the last. We had a little bit of a crack against each other here, and we've sort of both come out not super happy,
indifferent.
Not super happy, but indifferent. I was positioned to power each way. Got caught deep. Look, gone on the bend. What did I trade? I was at a wedding, so I had to put my phone away for a bit. It was a tough old time. I would have thought you wouldn't organise a ceremony around a 72 plus or 66 plus at Ascot, but anyway, that's a story for another day. Probably the same people that decided to dismiss the Billy Ray protest yesterday. Grow up, Stuart. Honestly, you are kidding me. Huge effort to come again. Downforce had its back. It's flying, and it out-sprinted at final 50 metres. Definitely follow position to power. Really happy with that. I think if she gets some cover, she goes a lot closer, but your saver won well.
Yeah, I was on Dark Mission who went horrible.
That's a cat.
Yeah, I listened to the 1-1. I said it'll be a dispersal sale.
I was a bit nice on this. I didn't actually say that on this.
After Saturday, I tend to agree with you, but luckily enough, saved on Creator, who got the 10 out of 10 run and saluted accordingly.
Stable going well now.
Had a double, Racing's better when the Gamgeemies are in form, I reckon.
Tell you what, there's nothing better than going into the Rock Magic Bar after a couple of Jan Jamie winners with Michael, the situation. Jan Jamie is an absolute rock star of a man. So hopefully we can celebrate a winner of his on Saturday, which we'll get to shortly. Crip, give us your ride of the day.
Pretty vanilla here, but going to give it to Pike on Western Empire in the Derby. Everyone
tough to see $1.30 on Pike, isn't it, Crip?
Everyone mapped him going back to dead last, which I think that's why everyone was probably willing to take him on in a sense, but he was positive out of the gates, got 1 out, 2 back, and it was race over well and truly from there.
Good aggression early, wasn't it? To say to Carberry, you're going to the fence here, champ. This is $500,000 race, buddy.
He champed him in run.
He might have champed him in run too. I reckon Foggy might be a champer. I would have champed him yesterday. Crip laid, for those that follow Cribber92, that's his birth year on
original, isn't it?
On Twitter. It's better than the Perth Racing Guru. I mean, come on. If I saw somebody else call himself the Perth Racing Guru, I would instantly think that bloke's a flog, which is bang on in all fairness, but. Anyway, where was I going? He laid material witness, which I've got a share in, and Pikey actually reckons we probably should have won the race. Probably, I don't think we should have won the race.
Made me sweat.
Did make you sweat. But anyway, my ride of the week, Temptations, Chris Parnham, same race, didn't win, but rode that filly so perfectly to cause an upset, just wasn't good enough to cause the upset. So give it to Chrissy Parnham. Horse to follow, Adornment for me. I think there was a reason Pike was on it, held up key moments, heaps of fitness from that run. Reckon Adornment might come forward as a big improver this campaign.
Yep, I agree. I was really surprised that he rode that over.
I think that's why.
Yeah, I was Bogart. Bogart was also actually a really good run, but the market suggested he should have been on Bogart, but Pike knew best. My horse to follow, Cocky Joy, in that clairvoyance race, they were flying, got stuck on the back of one that couldn't keep up, and then when she finally got out, chopped out in the straight, beaten a long way, but you can probably rule a line through that run.
I can't help you with the he or she because I'm not certain. I'm pretty sure it's a she. Shout out to Bradley McManus as well. He had a reasonable morning today, but last week he put up $8 Mackenzie Brook, and he chimed in pretty heavily at around $80 the exchange. That's why you want to bet on the exchange.
$80.
He reckons it got out to 80. Yeah, I wasn't watching the exchange at that moment, but and she's gone down by a lip. So, like Bradley, that's not a bad little punt.
The other one we love having a pot at.
Oh, 100%.
In the Captain Chaos race, he put up the Morton horse at $4. I think it traded 20s.
Callaroo. Come on, Brad.
He was good this morning, but
he was.
I'm actually a bit disappointed now when there's not a howler.
I don't even want to do this, to be honest with you. Yeah, we should just call off production for the week whenever he doesn't cook any. So, no, $7 Billy ain't silly this week, unfortunately.
No, he's bitten twice shy.
All right, we're off to Ascot Saturday. Not many meetings left, so we'll try and finish with a bang. 7 metres, easterlies, usual stuff.
Yeah, usual stuff. Track's been playing perfectly lately. When we're not whinging about it, you know that our nation's doing a good job. So, yeah, especially he reckons. But he said the other week that he's just had perfect grass growing conditions, so you can tell it's still in immaculate condition from my TV screen anyway.
Yeah, no, it's looking very green, so pretty happy with that. Horses are brown, grass is green. Can't complain.
Better that year when they had to paint it. So anyway, all right. Actually, rip a card.
You've got a few here, don't you?
Yeah, got a few, but even in...
Fuck, I'm sick of you just talking on this. I nearly get a word in. It's bullshit.
Even in races where won't be having a bet, there's some really good watches for the racing purists.
Which isn't us, we just like that.
We won't touch on it, but Miss Kentucky versus Narodio, really looking forward to that match.
Funny when that Echo Effect pulls their pants down.
Yeah, Chicks Pick can win too. But anyway, I'm going to kick off the day in race 2, and that is with a horse called Acromantula. Now, he's only had the 2 starts. On debut, he was started really short, off a good trial. Led and really didn't give him a look in. Now the key here, that was Melbourne Cup Day at Ascot, probably one of the worst swooper bias tracks I've seen. The inside was absolutely quicksand, so just for him to be able to lead on that day showed that he's got a heap of ability.
That was the day Soleil couldn't go on the inside pad, just to show you how bad it was.
Yep, true. And then next start was well thought of in the listed race, the Placid Arc, ran last, but so obviously on the eye disappointing, but later we found out that he got a case of the thumps. Now, I actually did a bit of research on this. Still, I'm definitely far from a vet, but...
Educate us.
It's something about an electrolyte imbalance. So anyway, enough for me. It fits the script or the narrative, so I'm happy to rule a line through that run.
No, definitely.
Since then, has been gelded, which we always like to see.
What I like to see, though, is when they're gelded, that it's in the gear list change, and this just didn't make it. The lugging bit apparently is more important than your knackers off. So there you go, poor Acromantula.
He's lost the knackers. Trialled really good. Led, actually looked under a bit of pressure at the top of the straight, but just love how he found late. Ran super time. Meets a pretty sharp field here, but looks the only leader. I just can't see another horse who will really want to take him on for the front. So 1,000 metres at Ascot, early in the day, the leader, normally hard to beat. I reckon if he can run up to his debut run or even improve, I'd like to think that he will be pretty hard to beat. And I've marked him $3.90, $4.60, $4.80 available. Not a huge bet, but happy to kick off my betting day on Acromantula.
Very good. Very little to add to that, Crip. I've got Acromantula marked $4 on top as well. I think there's several horses that could lead, but he's the one that will want to lead, if that makes sense. They'll all be happy sitting. So, super trial and should go very close leading throughout. Crip. Stable's flying too.
Shantalk's one of mine, but first up, no trial with the apprentice, so I'm probably just a bit of a watch.
Remember the day that Brad went up $10 and it started $2.80? I was with Brad. I think I sent you a picture of Brad at the track. Yeah, that was the first of many McManus moments.
That was goat Brad stuff. All right, what have you got? We move on to race 6.
Race number 6. Yes, we're
clashing here.
We haven't clashed much over the journey, but we are clashing again here. I am relatively keen at an each-way price. First of all, do you think this is just about the best sprint race we've seen in Perth that's not black type?
This makes your mouth water when you go through this field. I'm obviously not a 2-year-old punter, so for me, this is easily race of the day.
By panels.
Some of the names, and then not to mention just the fascinating speed battle early. We've got Dreams, who I think is the fastest horse over the first 3 or 4 strides. And Zeabel
not far behind.
Is it not far behind? And on her outside. So how'd you map it?
I reckon, and this is funny now, a lot of people are going to be expecting this to be a madly run affair, but I think they both will respect each other enough to understand where they're at. Let's not take each other on madly here. Let's just park Zeeble up in the breeze. Let's just go to the lead with We've Got Dreams, and they can still sort of control the race. I don't think it will be a 6, 7, 8 lengths above benchmark type race. I think it'll be genuinely run, but not. I don't think Zeeble will push for the lead unless We've Got Dreams. It's never misstepped if that occurs. Then
Lucy's she's the key to this map because it's her mindset that will determine who leads. If she won't cross We've Got Dreams early, but obviously if she wants to lead at all costs, then she'll get there just because she'll just pressure the leader until they gives in. But I'd just like to think, hopefully, it'd be better for both horses if they, sort it out between themselves.
Luke is known for a bit of an aggressive call from the arm.
This has got Mr. Genoa in last year written all over it.
Dear me, that's a good story. Maybe we'll share that one next week. Anyway, from there, this is where the map gets interesting. I think we need to do a little bit of we don't really deep dive our maps, but you did tell me before we started, and we haven't discussed it, that you did a map for this yourself.
This is probably the most detailed I've ever got into doing a map.
I love it. Is it down?
Nah, it's not here.
I can't read that.
It's in my head.
Leaders back to Captain Kink. We agree on that?
Yep.
The 1-1 is a spot which is up for debate. BJ Ryan on the podcast this morning suggested Riverboat was it be in the 1-1. There's talk Gemma Sun could jump well, get to the 1-1. Highland Beat's drawn underneath those two. I think Highland Beat with the 54 will have the spring in his step to potentially find the 1-1. If not, let Riverboat take it, land one back, potentially. There's a lot of options there in that sense. You see it slightly differently.
Yep, I had Money Matters in the 1-1, a horse who has led a lot in his career. I know he's got the big weight, but it shouldn't really stop him getting out of the gates well. So,
what price do you want?
For who?
Money Matters to be in the 1-1 after 100 metres.
I haven't done a market for who's going to be in the 1-1.
Right.
I've done a market for who's going to win the race, but even if he doesn't get in the 1-1, then couldn't even Carberry on Plutocracy get the 1-1?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I'd Plutocracy 1 out, 2 back.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just very interesting. Gemma Sun will be deep, you'd think.
Jemison is going to be deep, which brings Riverboat right into it because he's going to be 3 deep with cover, I reckon.
Interesting, because Riverboat's been jumping so well recently. It could just about lead up a 3-wide line, but I don't know. There is so much.
They all jump well.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting in that sense. But I love the fact that Highland Beat's drawn underneath Riverboat and drawn underneath Gemma's Son. I think he can potentially get the 1-1. If not, he can find the nice trail in a 3-wide line. There's a lot of good options there for Highland Beat.
He shouldn't do a 1-1, just whack him in the 1-1.
Just boom, into the 1-1. I think Highland Beat is the horse who represents value at the moment, and with so many backable runners in this, there'll be money for Gemma's Son, Plutocracy, Riverboat beating Clairvoyance, obviously, though I do think Clairvoyance beat herself that day rather than Riverboat beating, because I think Plutocracy probably should have won that race just about. We've got Dreams, obviously. Captain King, there'll be money for all of these runners, so I don't know whether the $12-13 is best for Highland Beat, but I've marked him an equal favourite, actually, Crip. Who would have thought I've gone for an outrageous marking in my book? Something different. But he gets 7.5 kilos off Money Matters for his second up run last campaign. Now, Money Matters isn't the horse to beat, so that weight swing is probably less relevant. But he carted up Money Matters, who was flying that prep into the race, who only grabbed him late. His best run last prep was second up. Went a little bit off the ball after that. But you watch his trial, you watch how stiff he was first up. Little weight swing on Riverboat. I think Highland Beat will be the forgotten horse here. Stable finding a bit of form. I love the map. I think he runs a huge race. And I think he trades $15 each way, the exchange late. So I'm happy having a little each way. Spec, DC.
Yep. No, I can't really argue too much of what you're saying, except probably the map, which is what turned me off. I'm going for a race who comes out of that same race. I mean, Highland Beat was really unlucky. Could argue the run of the race, but the other one who ran super was Captain King. Look, we've touched on Riverboat a lot. Obviously, he's the testing material after knocking off Clairvoyance. In my opinion, Captain King was a better run than Riverboat when he got held up at the top of the straight. He gets 2.5 kilos on Riverboat for good measure. And the thing I love about this race, so we don't want to dive into the map anymore, but We've Got Dreams will lead. Captain King's going to be on her back. I think We've Got Dreams will give a pretty good kick. So there should be, and they're going to go fast.
That's key, isn't it?
There's plenty of room.
Just on that, We've Got Dreams trialled in Blinkers, which I don't think she's ever raced in before, and they're not on here. I didn't think it was one of her better trials, albeit a very hot field. But interesting to see a horse trial in Blinkers, not on. Is that because she wasn't working well? Did they just want to try it and see if she really found another length with the blinkers on? Just interesting.
Yeah,
it's not something you often see.
No, I haven't spoken to Kira, so your guess is as good as mine. But I thought the trial was the fastest
withholding
trial of the day.
Information, I suggest.
And I don't think there's any qualms in losing to Cup Night either, and Massimo.
Yeah, so and the rodeo was on the fence.
The rodeo, they're all,
there were some names there.
The first two were nearly 100 raters, so I thought the trial was good. So I don't need We've Got Dreams to kick too much, just enough to let me out. But anyway, I marked Captain King $4.40 favourite. There was $6.50, $7 around. Starting to trim up a little bit, but at $5.56, I think we can still have something on.
Very good. All right. Captain King, lead us back in 1-1. We're backing, are we?
I hope not, because I reckon if you get 1-1, I'll be a little bit nervous. But in saying that, there's chock full of talented horses, so whoever gets the right run might come out victorious.
Jesus, right. I reckon
speaking of that, I think we're both on State Attorney last start. Ran poor, but it was 3 deep, no cover. From barrier 4, he will end up 3 back the fence, which has just got State Attorney written all over it. 3 back the fence, fast run race. He'll probably be your roughest horse in the race, but just don't leave him out of your quaddy.
Yeah, exactly right. I think the only 3 that can't win are Money Matters at the weights, Floyd from the gate, and Zeal from the breeze. They're the 3 I think can't win.
100%.
So don't be afraid on Betfair. We're not going to be tipping them, but don't be afraid. Like with State Attorney, if there's 45s, 50s available late, have a little spec. It's that type of race. So we haven't even touched on really Jemison. If she can jam that into a nice spot, Jemison can easily win the race too. So
I'm banking on Christy getting caught wide.
Yeah, me too. She's going to channel her position to power ride and get stuck nice and deep for us, I suggest. So
probably give Riverboat the right card up he needs to knock us all off.
Yeah, exactly right. So cracking race. Looking forward to it, and hopefully we can knock off Crip. Race number 7. This will be short, sharp, sweet. I did a market for this race, Crip. Saucy Jack in, Saucy Jack out. Saucy Jack's just the freewheeling type that goes to the top and can be a bit of a pest. Usually stops on them, occasionally can keep going. But Saucy Jack has come out to go to the Gero Cup on Sunday. So I think Big Butter Boom will roll forward, definitely. Will lead the race. doesn't look to be a huge amount of pressure on here. And you've got horses like Plateau, Miss Marietta, who will get back and look to be running on. Off we go. I don't think they're at the same level, or they're going to be giving Big Butter Boom too much of a head start. His efforts last week, or 14 days ago, I should say, when second to Black Shadow, was huge after he got taken on by the $1 million pop. Reverend John, that was just a madness type of take on. Off the 2 months at the 1800. I know Roy Rogers said he had him fully fit, but there's a difference between fully fit and being race day fit. That run's got to have brought him forward. The map is perfect. To me, he just goes forward, leads and wins, and he's comfortably my best bet of the day, Crip. Marked him 250, 260, currently 320.
Get in, get out,
Just a thumbs up. Get in, get out. Easy done.
Yeah, I can see. I'm not a race I'll be playing. Can definitely see where you're coming from. He was my on-top selection. Just didn't have him as short as you. Would love to see $4 late, but I highly doubt that.
Gee whiz.
Good race, Bart.
I'll go broke if there's $4 late, I'll tell you
Our
what.
ideal is a horse who she'll love barrier one.
Double nommed. See, I should actually have gone into that. I was actually thinking about a saver, our ideal, because I think it'll grab at the back of Big Butter Boom, but double nommed, and I'm pretty sure they're going Gero Cup. So that's why I haven't mentioned her. So that makes it a little bit juicier for Big Butter Boom too. But I don't like our ideal. Mitchell Pateman and our ideal really have gone well together.
Yep.
So Peter Nucky going on might be just a slight negative for a horse who's really enjoyed Mitchy Pateman. But yeah, look, I think just goes forward, rolls, leads, wins, easy, in, out, off we go. Roy Rogers.
Enough said.
Bang, just another Roy Rogers winner.
All right, speaking of just wins, I'm going to...
Oh, hang on, we've got to go through the size.
Oh, sorry.
We've missed the size.
I'm keen.
The size, the feature race of the day. Be optimistic. One of mine will be in the race. It won't win, unfortunately. Never know, maybe it will. I wasn't happy last start, so a bit of forgiveness there, but I don't know why I'm talking about it because I don't really want to. Look, this should be a carbon copy of the Caracatta in regards to Lee Warren Export Man for that race out with Pat's Got Sass. Pat's Got Sass isn't here. Lee Warren Export Man draw well again. They should be fighting this race out. I think Lewa was the one that was more stiff in the straight, and that's the way I'm leaning. I'm 310 Lewa, 340 Export Man. I'm pretty keen Lewa. I do think that we might see a backable price late on the exchange, a bit like featherweight last week. I think there might be a little wobble, maybe a bit of money for featherweight, a bit of money for Kira's riding K-May, who is the X factor in this race, the unknown, the really hard horse to place. But no, Lewa for me, Crip, in a race where I can only see there being 2 winning chances.
Yep.
Nothing. Have you got anything in race 9 though, Crip?
I jumped the gun then, didn't I? Yeah, look, I think I've got an absolute moral in race 9, to be honest.
Dear me.
I had something on him last start. That is
Denim Pack. Shit. Okay. Didn't see you on that one.
Sorry. That is Billy Ain't Silly. He's a lightly raced 3-year-old who's just going through the grades at a rate of knots at the moment. Last start was absolutely truckloaded in betting. Went to the front, absorbed a heap of pressure from Mitch Pateman. Can't remember the horse's name, but
Special View.
But shrugged that off and just absolutely just bolted in.
How was the acceleration?
Yeah, I just reckon might be one out of the box. Always been a lot of hype around him. The horse that ran second to him that day was Stella Vista, who
had its chance yesterday.
who ran yesterday and was it was absolute moral beat and just one of the bigger runs you'll see on a day where normally with the rails out you might see a sweepers track, but it ended up being quite on pace. So yeah, she'll be going into black books around the nation. Yeah, look, I don't think this race is any harder than what he beat last time. Finds the breeze, and yeah, I just don't think he loses. So I'm so keen. Price is a bit of a concern now.
That's what I was going to say to you. Yeah. What are we doing? It's I can see 210 here. Are we taking the 210 or are we waiting for a Betfair crack late?
See, went up 240, 235, which was an easier decision this morning. 210s, yeah, it's a sticky one. I marked him, when I know I want to be on one, I'll mark him as long as I can possibly get him, and it was 210, so probably in my market's a genuine $1.80, $1.90 pop. I reckon with his profile, because he's a data horse and he's lightly raced and he's going to be on speed, as long as it's not against the pattern of the day, which we don't expect. Like, I really do think he's going to be well supported. But yeah, it's that risk reward, isn't it? Like, he could easily start at $1.70, but he might get out to $2.30, $2.40. So
then you're not backing him at $1.70 though, are you?
No, not backing him at $1.70.
That's the thing. So it's a toughie.
That probably guns ahead. I'm probably going to, from a tipping perspective, probably going to tip him at $2.10.
Yeah. Okay. Money-wise, you'd think from horses 5 down, maybe a little bit for Holy Ghost, but it's too short the market now. There's just not going to be a cent.
Well, Holy Ghost is...
It's Tin Snip and Amelia's Contraire.
Yeah, they're the two, and from a data perspective, they just don't have the ratings to match Billy, and they probably, they found their mark. They both had...
Amelia's might get the map. That's the one thing. Jumping better, can probably grab the back of Billy, ain't silly, but...
they both had 16 starts, and their best figures are 2 lengths off Billy, who's had 6 starts, so... I can't see there being too much.
He's bullish. He's bullish.
It's annoying because it's no hero declaring an even money pot. I think
money is money. An old friend of mine used to say, a short price losers. No,
a
short price winner is better than a long price loser. Deary me.
A short price loser better than a long price winner. Easily the best of the day for mine. I'll let you guys work out what price you want to take, but I think he just wins.
All right, I agree. Should be just winning. Well, I'm just hopping into the second at Albany at the moment. Should just be winning, Crip. I agree.
All right,
a bit short for me though.
Yeah, fair enough. That's obviously my best of the day. Yours is
Big Butterboom.
Big Butterboom.
Yep.
Simple. All right, very good. That was a pretty robust discussion, actually. I enjoyed speaking about race 6.
Billy Ray got me in the mood. The stewards got me in the mood. Anyone that disagrees with me, I'm just not copying it. Like, I'm not allowing people to disagree with
me. Everyone's entitled to their opinion unless it's against yours.
Unless it's different to mine.
Yeah. No, it was good. Yeah, that one probably went for a bit longer than usual, but I think that race 6 deserved good discussion about it because it is a cracker of a race. So that will do us for this week. 1-1 Pod has got the colourful character of Steve Wolf on.
That was so good. Yeah, that was just unreal, Steve. I think when certain people come on our podcast, like Simon Miller did a few weeks ago, they're just sort of happy to open the shoulders a bit. We don't have any great affiliations. We're sponsored by Betfair, obviously, but people are happy to tell some truths and open the shoulders a bit. And that's exactly what Steve did. So it goes for about 30 minutes. I highly recommend listening.
Terry said off air that he was just as good as Simon Miller, who I thought was one of the better interviews that I've listened to. So looking forward to hearing that. Other than that, cripsracing.com if you want to see my stuff throughout the week. But other than that, I said other than that a few times, haven't I?
Carlton going to win this week?
I don't know, I hope so. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I hope a few of you took a bit of the $20 odd Harry Mackay for the Coleman. He's just got to chase down Tex. I could chase down Tex, surely. Come on.
$6 now, so.
Deary me, it's a fill.
Yeah, back on the MCG against the undermanned Port, so fingers crossed. But yeah, good luck to your bets, good luck to your footy team, and gamble responsibly.